Good day, Dr. Melinda and classmates. I am Maria, and this is my report on Radio DZLB. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, why am I reporting on a college radio station when this module, Module 9, is about basic radio hardware? As you may have read from our primary reference material for this course, the authors Lustria, Tabing, and Osalia actually began Module 9 by introducing Radio DZLV, which is the pioneer of educational radio stations in the Philippines. And so I thought this radio station deserved further exploration and a presentation of its own. Two of my group mates will thoroughly discuss the broadcast equipment for radio production and radio transmission, respectively. And while I will also mention some hardware of Radio DZLB in my report, as you can see from this slide, it is just one part of my lecture. What I wanted to emphasize here is the legacy of Radio DZLB. So let's begin. So Radio DZLB is a college radio station that was created by UPLB-CA, University of the Philippines Las Bañas College of Agriculture, way back in 1964. Here is their official logo. It includes their radio frequency, which is 1116 kilohertz, and their tagline, ang tinig ng kaunlaran, or the voice of development in English. It first aired more than 60 years ago. The exact date is August 3, 1964. And if you actually look closely at this photo, you could see the original radio frequency of Radio DZLB, which is 1210 kilohertz. According to Dr. Floor, in 1978, that was when the station's frequency changed from 1210 kilohertz to 1116 kilohertz. And also the original tagline you could see from this photo, it's ang tinig ng nayon. Then later on, I'm still searching for when, but yeah, it changed to ang tinig ng kaunlaran. Okay, so beginning in 1968 up until the early 1980s, the target audience of Radio DZLB were farmers, and that's according to Chico, and farmers of all crops. So whether you're a sugarcane farmer, or a rice farmer, or cassava farmer, Radio DZLB was catered to your needs. Now, at this point, I will pause our history lesson and I'll continue when we reach the section on Radio DZLB's legacy. For now, let's familiarize ourselves with Radio DZLB studio and hardware by watching this clip from the 126th episode of Leader Kake. Leader Kake is a youth-oriented program that continues to air on the Radio DZLB today. So let's enjoy this video.
Kaya I think dapat puntahan natin ang Radio DZLB studio.
Tara?
Tara! Let's go! Okay.
Hello sa ating mga manonood dito sa online world.
Magandang araw mga kabataan ng Laguna.
Welcome sa ating programa. Ito ang
Leader Kake!
Wait, sorry. Naka-reserve kami today. Yeah, for Leader Kake.
Sir, 9 to 12. Kami din po.
Opo,
Leader
nagpa-reserve
Kake.
din po kami.
You mean you're the guest or the Kabataang Patrol?
No, sir. We're the hosts.
Yeah, host.
Wait. Ako yung host ng show. Tsaka si Andeng as the chief anchor. And Ate Pinky, kanina kausap namin.
Actually talaga, sir, isa tong surprise!
Welcome sa LKK!
Kaya I think dapat
Okay, so what hardware did we see in that short clip? So we saw there were microphones that were, of course, being used by the radio broadcasters. We also saw there was some desktop computer equipment, like the monitor and the CPU. But in his 2021 paper, Chico, he's actually the man wearing the colored shirt. He's the creator of Leader Kake. In his 2021 paper, he also listed some hardware of Radio DZLB. So these are four that he mentioned: an audio processor, wiring, transmitter house, and antenna. I will not explain these thoroughly, but just for us to get a basic understanding of what they are. So an audio processor, according to Teco Broadcast, its function is really to optimize the sound quality. So it's an electronic device that manipulates audio signals to improve its quality, add effects, or change their properties. And it gives your radio station a unique sound with its own character, since it has already optimized the sound quality. Wiring is self-explanatory, so I won't explain that anymore. A transmitter house, I believe house is the transmitter. So a radio transmitter, it's for producing radio waves. It generates radio waves that contain information such as audio, video, or digital data, and that's according to Dummies in their 2016 blog. An antenna, according to Britannica, its function is really to direct incoming and outgoing radio waves. So again, please watch the reports of my two other group mates to gain a much better understanding of what these radio hardware are. Now, what's interesting when Chico was discussing this hardware in his 2021 paper, this hardware of Radio DZLB, it's sad because he said most of these have suffered damages, which actually led to Radio DZLB going off the air from 2012 until 2021. In fact, according to him, as early as the 1990s, these equipment started to wear out, and sadly, there were no efforts to sustain it or maintain it. There was no money coming in, he said, to boost instruction. So this is what happened. The audio processor of Radio DZLB broke down and it cost at least $1,800 to repair. I believe this is US dollars. So at the time, that 1,800 US dollars is 73,000 pesos. So that's a huge price to pay for an audio processor. The wiring became grounded, and what made the situation worse, according to him, was the transmitter house of Radio DZLB was struck by lightning. So it's a lot of unfortunate events that happened. And he also pointed out that the transmitter of Radio DZLB already broke down um, previously twice, actually, back way back in 2005 and then again in 2011. And so when I was reading this part in his paper, it helped me realize that radio hardware, as with other types of hardware, they're not immune to wear and tear, and they really require regular maintenance and repair costs. And the second takeaway is running a radio station, radio broadcasting in itself is a very expensive process. It requires, again, regular significant financial investment. And I'm thinking, if there was only these funds needed to repair or replace the audio processor, the wiring, or the transmitter, then maybe Radio DZLB didn't have to go off air. So at this point, let's watch another clip from the same episode of Leader Kake to learn of Radio DZLB's legacy.
Kwentuhan nyo kami ng mga milestone ng Leader Kake.
Oy, okay, milestones. Unang-una na dyan, syempre, we were recognized by the Catholic Mass Media Awards in 2010. And they gave us a special citation as Best Educational Program. Ito ipinagmamalaki ko kasi bukod sa mga natanggap na award ng DZLB sa KBP for Pinoy Sounds as Best Variety or Musical Program at saka yung Best AM Station Provincial, ito na yung sumunod, no? Yung Catholic Mass Media Awards ng Leader Kake. At I'm very happy na nakita ng Catholic Mass Media yung ginagawa nating pag-educate sa mga kabataan kasi ang heart nga ng LKK is really the sharing of the concepts ng leadership. So parang kada man kikinig sila or manonood sila online, may natututunan sila about leadership na pwede nilang i-apply sa sarili nilang mga community.
Kwentuhan nyo kami ng mga
Okay, so I will discuss three legacies of Radio DZLB. In fact, Mr. Chico already mentioned the first one when he was talking about the milestones or recognitions, okay, of Radio DZLB. So the first is, again, youth empowerment. Second is rural community development. And the third is distance online learning. The last two, I got them from my readings for this presentation. So the first, youth empowerment. If you actually watch that 126 episode of Leader Kake in full, you'll hear Chico explain how participatory and youth-led and student-led Leader Kake is in particular. In his paper, he also said that students of DevCom taking up DevC 133 or broadcast-based distance learning systems are required to conduct a SOA. I'll discuss what a SOA is in the next slide. But I think it's amazing that these students of DevCom were given this platform to speak on air and even share their thoughts and run a radio program. So if you also have time, do check out Radio DZLB on their social media platforms. I'll share them with you in a bit. And I think these awards are just icing on the cake because the fact that a college radio station showed it is capable of producing high quality and relevant content that bested other radio stations' content, these stations with probably greater financial resources, I think that's already an achievement of its own. So that's for me, it's the first legacy of Radio DZLB, how they empower the youth, especially the students of UPLB. Second is, of course, rural community development. So according to Dr. Flor, Radio DZLB is the oldest existing rural educational radio station. Again, rural because remember, its target audience from 1968 up until the early 1980s were farmers. And we cannot talk about Radio DZLB without talking about the School on the Air or the SUA programs, which was mentioned in the previous slide. In fact, according to Chico, this is what the station is known for, their SOA programs. So to clarify, okay, UPLB is not the first entity to create a school on the air radio program that targeted farmers, but UPLB or Radio DZLB is the first to systematize the program where they had a scientific evaluation of the effectiveness of a SOA, or and even they had a guide, they published a guide for rural broadcasters outlining the systematic process for running a SOA. So what is a SOA? It's an innovative radio program broadcast program format created by UPLB. And the first SOA that Radio DZLB aired was about dairy farming. So again, since they're catering to farmers. So that's the first SOA they aired. In fact, I think we cannot undermine the impact of Radio Diesel B on the continuing education of Filipino farmers. I think that's very, very significant. For 25 years, from 1967 to 1992, Radio Diesel B has aired over 288 SOAs or schools on the air with topics ranging from dairy farming to charcoal production. There's many more in the paper written by Chico. I just didn't include them here, but these are just to give you an idea of how diverse these topics are and how they really catered to the farmers. A huge chunk of these SOAs they created were agri-related. And as of 1994, according to Chico, there were 14,000 students who have graduated from these SOAs. The last legacy of Radio DZLB is on distance or online learning. This is a whole paragraph lifted from the paper of Dr. Flor. And I will not read it, but what he's saying here is that the fifth autonomous unit of UP, the UP network, which is our school, UP Open University, this is actually the product of Radio DZLB's SOAS. And that really struck me that a program of a college radio station with limited funding was able to sow the seeds of the online university where we are now studying. And I think that's something we should not take for granted. And this is actually the end of my report. Well, almost the end of my report. So, where is Radio DZLB now? They're fully online. So, this is one of their Facebook pages. Please do like it. They have another Facebook page. So, this is Radio DZLB, ang tinig ng kaunlaran Facebook page. This is their logo or the image, the banner image. And this is from DZLB News Facebook page. Okay, so let's go to Facebook and like and follow the social accounts that they have and they're using now. Okay, so these are my sources for my report for the images. And to end, these are my two discussion questions. Let's think back to our college university days and let's imagine we had the desire and resources to put up our own radio station. What themes would your radio station focus on back then and why? And second is, please think of one benefit that college radio stations like Radio DZLB have or they offer to college students today. So that's the end of my report. I hope you enjoyed learning what Radio DZLB is with me. And I wish you all will have a wonderful day. Thank you.